Episode 12 of our Top 20 Memories in the Booth. 10 seasons almost coming towards the end of the 2022 season, Cello. And I've been looking forward to this one. This is Fleeting Faces. So what we're going to do here, 2013 being the first season that we were in the booth together. Obviously 2022 is the latest one and potentially the last one. I'm going to throw you some names. And I want you to guess the season they were at the Rapids, okay? So there's going to be a good chance that most of them are going to be 13, 14, 15, maybe 16. And let's not forget there was a lot of turnover during those seasons as well. So the chance of you getting a particular season right with a particular player could be quite tricky.
We've had this discussion before with all the concussions I had. I'm just going to grab the dart. I'm going to throw it at 13, 14, 15, or 16, and maybe I get lucky. Let's see.
Okay.
Unless there's an obvious one.
All right, let's throw you an obvious one then. Right. Kevin Harbottle. Was that not an obvious one?
No, that is not. 14.
13.
13. All right.
13.
I was going to go 13, but I thought it was too obvious.
He was the small fella. Okay, I've got to look down at my list here.
Oh boy. You know, there's a chance I could get these all wrong, just so you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Jose Mari. He scored a couple of blinders, didn't he?
No, I remember him.
Vancouver, he scored a great goal.
So he wasn't there for 16, 13, probably 13, 14, right in there. It's got to be.
Well, you're going two dates. Which one? Don't put your
foot. I'm saying it's back and forth. I'll go 2014. 1
point for Balboa. Yeah, 2014, Jose Mari. I think he also got a great goal at RSL, which didn't do the Rapids any favours because I think it was the opening goal and RSL came back to win 5 or 6-1. That was during a really tough spell.
Ruin a moment after saying what a great goal.
Yeah.
To get the final score. You could have just left it there.
Okay, here's one. Zat Knight played at Fulham in England. Big fella, 6'6". I remember he was petrified walking out to the training ground and something slithered in the grass. And he's 6'6", probably 240 pounds, and he leapt like a kitten. He was startled. So Zat Knight played 4 games, 4 appearances.
Was Pablo's first year? When was Mastroianni's first year?
2014, yeah.
14, yeah.
Yeah, you're on a bit of a roll here. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I remember the assistant coach. The assistant coach that was there for a little while, European guy. What was his name?
John Method.
There we go.
John Method. Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Scored an absolute screamer. I've got a story about John Method. Actually, I'm going to tell you that story now. I'm not sure if you remember it's 60th, the street that goes west away from the stadium, where the cars park in there on game day. And I remember the staff at the Rapids had been warned that in one of the trees on that tree-lined road there was a very protective nest, a very protective mother and father, birds. And I believe some of the staff had been attacked, even drawing blood. And we were warned not to park under the tree or near this particular tree. Well, of course, I forgot about it. I completely forgot about it this day. Got out of the car, went to the back to get my bag out, suddenly squawking above my head. And of course, then absolutely remembered. I'm like, no! Oh, and I'm cowering down, looking at the ground, and I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to look up. I couldn't see the bird, but I could see the shadow of the bird on the road. So it must have been so close. Then I remembered, as I was petrified, it was like, a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
I remembered they said, if you go across the other side of the road, so to the north side of 60th, get across the road, it won't follow you. It did. It's still squawking above my head. So I'm going across the road doing that. It was like the Ministry of Silly Walks almost got knocked down. And the car that stopped about a foot of the way, to be fair, wasn't going very fast, was Johnny Method. And he was there behind the wheel going, as if to say, what are you doing? And he went, oh, okay. And I thought he understood. So I saw him out at practice later. I said, oh, cool, there. So you see that bloomin' bird flying above my head? He went, nope. No. I went, what? He said, no, I didn't see it. So I said, all you saw was me doing that, going across the road. He said, pretty much. So that was kind of my
That's about right for you.
my
about
kind
right.
of abiding memory with John Method.
Yeah,
Almost ran me down doing a
there you go.
stupid walk, thinking I was scaring off this bird, which had me running for
No
cover.
chance.
So that's the John Method. Yeah, John Method was around
Yeah.
2014.
All right.
Diego Calderon.
Calderon, 2000 wasn't 15.
Far too late. 13.
13.
13.
Okay.
13. And I think if I remember serving me right, he didn't finish the end of the season. He collided with a post and didn't it create like fragments? He had like a
Buddy, I can't remember the year he was here, and you want me to remember him hitting the post?
okay. And I think that was at LA. I think that was at LA. I'm trying to think. I'm sure he collided. Colombian Central America. Sure
We've
he
seen a lot
collided.
of games in our time, my friend.
Yeah. So that was my only. I don't remember many performances. I only remember the injury where he slid to try, and I think he may have hooked the ball wide, but in doing so, he hit the post, his knee first, and I think that was the end of him. Herman Mera, another Colombian. Herman Mera.
He was here. God, I still think it was 2000. Wasn't 16. Bravo. God, I gotta go 2015.
13 again.
13
13.
again,
I'm
really?
going early. I'm going early. Okay, let's.
Him. I remember them. I remember seeing him here,
Yeah.
and I remember looking at him saying he just looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He looked like he didn't fit in, and I remember watching him in training a few times. Just too young. I think he was a very very young center back. Got brought in, just didn't fit in.
Okay, so let me get rid of a few more from 2013, and then that will remove that year. So you'll have we're narrowing the field now. So Brenton Griffiths, another fleeting face. Danny Mwanga, of course.
Danny Mwanga, I remember that's Reggie's
pick in
buddy.
Wasn't he first pick in the draft and came from Portland and wasn't too successful. So I'm going to throw you some more here.
I wonder how many fans remember what year these guys came in. You know, I mean, I can't be the only one that's drawn a blank on some of these names.
And clearly, look, I've designed the quiz, so I know the answers.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Joseph Greenspan.
I remember him drafted.
Was the Navy? He was in the Navy.
I know. Sent him. He was at the Loyals for a while.
And then didn't he go to Minnesota for a little bit?
Minnesota.
And then
I'm going to stick to 2000. I'm going to stick to 2015.
You got it. 4 appearances for Joseph Greenspan. One more. Let's go. Thomas Piermeyer, Austrian. I think he had a few appearances, but again,
he wasn't
one of those where
15.
He was 14. 14. Yeah. 2014, 14 appearances.
Going back to the group that they had in 2016, I'm trying to think. No. So
no, he wasn't in that one.
Yeah.
Ben Newnham.
Wow.
Just one appearance. I think it was at the Red Bulls, and I think he gave a penalty away. That was his kind of.
Remember? Yeah, I got to go back to 2014.
15 on that one. Okay, I'm bringing these ones a little bit closer to the last 10 years.
All right.
So we're going to go with Connor Doyle. Connor Doyle.
Connor Doyle. Couldn't. Sure, 2016. I have no clue.
Yes. 3 appearances off the bench for Connor Doyle.
Wow.
So, okay, let me just. That was a good game. I enjoyed that. I kind of.
I overly.
50-50. Wow. You remember Marvin Chavez?
I don't.
Chivas USA scored against the Rapids for Chivas. Having been traded, I think he was at San Jose.
Yeah.
Then the Rapids brought him in. And if I recall, I think the Rapids traded him on a Thursday to Chivas, who they played at the weekend. He came off the bench and scored twice against the Rapids, who just let him go in a 3-1 win. So that was Marvin Chavez. 2 substitute appearances for the Rapids, traded to Chivas, scored 2 off the bench a few days later, as you say. Carlos Alvarez, Joe Nasco, and we've got another
Remember Nasco was a cop, right? Wanted to be a cop, or was a cop?
He was a cop. Yeah, he was a cop.
I remember that.
So Joe Nasco, and we've got some stories about Nasco in a forthcoming episode. John Neeskins,
the fastest red card, right, against LA,
was the fastest red card. Yes, Baldomero Toledo.
A few things I remember.
Alan Gordon, I think he dragged down like 25 seconds in. So we're gonna look at that game in a few weeks. Grant Van der Castile, he was brought in. I think he'd come in from Notre Dame, big friends with Dylan Powers.
Yep.
And I think he was made to look a little bit daft by Robbie Keane, not the only person to look a little daft by Robbie Keane in his one and only appearance coming off the bench. Sean St. Ledger, Lucas Pitinari, Michael Harrington, James Riley. I mean, names that we know, but they came and they went. And then we kind of move into more modern day: Mo Saeed, Josh Gatt, Mike DeFont, Caleb Calvert, Sam Hamilton, Nana Boateng, Stefan Aigner.
Yep.
But it's certainly
some of those you picked out the least recognizable, so I appreciate that.
That was my point. It was how many of them could you remember?
I'm curious how many. I mean, put that out before you put this episode out. I'd be curious how many fans, without going on the web, if they remembered what year they played, because those were not easy.
But yeah, without going on the web, have a little look. And then we're bringing up to 2018 players like Yannick Bolly, Giles Barnes, Kip Colvey, Jack McBean, Enzo Martinez, who's still doing well in USL, Johan Blomberg, the Swede.
Right.
Look, it's not been, and I think the reason some of those early years, clearly the time as well, but some of those early years, not so much the last 4 or 5, but certainly the early years, there was masses of turnover, wasn't there? End of season, 12, 13, 14 players in, 12,
2016 was a good year for us. 15, 14, 13 were not. So I think that was an opportunity that the club started bringing in younger players, trying different things. And some of those guys got an opportunity. So, right now the young guys get an opportunity, how well they're doing. Over the last 3 years, what really young player has really, besides Vinesy, who was a homegrown, Bassett, over the last 3 years, who's really broken into that starting lineup as a homegrown, or even as a rookie that's come in? We've seen Marcanic struggle. 2 of the 3 games he struggled. So Yappy, I think you saw the other night, was actually running around and moving, playing a guy down. So it's depending on how the team does is how I think you can see younger players get an opportunity.
Yep, absolutely. So that is episode 12. We've got a few more to come before the end of our time of our top 20 memories from 10 seasons in the booth. That was a good one. You enjoyed that, didn't you?
I did. I enjoyed the trivia that I got 50-50. So I'll take that right now.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Bye for now.